This is Avinash. Today we'll see the program, that is how to create the servlet, a simple servlet program, or how to execute the simple servlet using generic class. Okay, so now I'll start my Eclipse. So click on Eclipse IDE. So it will ask, it will open Eclipse IDE 2020-03 I'm using, that is latest version of Eclipse IDE. Once the Eclipse is open, click on File, New, select the Dynamic Web Project. Okay, we are creating a servlet, so we have to select Dynamic Web Project. It will ask the project name, what you want to give. I'll give generic. Then here you have to select the Tomcat version which you already installed in your computer. I installed Apache Tomcat 9.0. Next, you have to click on next button. Again, click on next button. This is very important step. You have to select the checkbox generate web.xml deploy descriptor. To deploy the XML, to give the name of the XML, to give the alias name to the servlet, it will take from this XML file. So if you not select this, your servlet will not run. Then click on finish button. So it will load the files, whatever the required files to run the servlet, it will load. It will take some 30 to 40 seconds. So wait for that. Once a generic project is created, you will get this blank screen. Now right click on your generic project folder. Then again go to the new and select the servlet option from the menu. Click on servlet. In the class name, enter the class name. Now I'll enter the class name as a first. Click on next. Always remember this URL mapping, because while executing, what name is given here, that we have to type it. Okay, so here it is a first. Again click on the next button. Here when you are executing or creating a servlet using generic servlet, then please uncheck the do get method and do post method and select the service checkbox. Click on finish. So it will load the code. This is the code. By default, the servlet will be extended using HTTP servlet, but we want extended should be a generic servlet. So generic servlet. After that, I already written the code, so I'll copy paste that. You can see here, when you extend from generic servlet, you have to write servlet request and servlet response, not HTTP servlet, HTTP servlet response. It should be a only servlet request and servlet response. So here it's giving some red line, right? That is the error, means we are not imported the packages. So just bring the cursor here, click on this red button and say import generic, double click, so automatically it will import the package. You can see here. Same thing you do it for servlet request and servlet response package. Click on a cross. Okay, it will say import servlet response and import servlet request. Now print writer, we have to import the print writer, that is java.io package. We can see all the servlet package, servlet exception, servlet request, servlet response, and you can see here print writer package is imported. Now you will not find any errors. Now you see here the program. So public class first my program name, and extended, that is I'm creating a servlet using generic servlet. So this is a constructor by default. Now I'm executing a service method. In this service method, a request and response. For servlet request, I created the object called rec, and for servlet response, I created the object called res. So if any error is there, it will go to the IO exception and servlet exception will handle that. Now the request is coming, that who will take care? The rec will take care. And if you want to give the response to the browser, you have to use the object called res response. Now the response set content type. So whatever I'm replying, that it should be in a HTML. So I written in a HTML. And if you want, you want to print the output on a browser, so you have to use the print writer method. That is, I created the object called out and response using get writer method. So how to print on a screen, because browser always understand the HTML code. So the output object method, that is out dot print, and in the bracket I have to start the HTML tag, body tag. Now whatever the answer you or whatever the message you want to print, that is out print hello generic servlet. So whatever the message you want to print, you have to write. Then close the body and close the HTML. So I'll save and I'll execute. So how to execute? Just right click on your project, right click on generic, run as a on a server. Remember, you have to select the run as run on server, not as a Java application. It should be a run on server. So select the run on server. So it will ask which Tomcat. So I'm going to select this 9.0 servlet localhost. First one, Tomcat. Then click on next. So in my already two servlets are there, so I'm remove this because I want to run this. In the configured, whatever the project is there, that project will be get run. So in the configured, I want to run generic. Now click on finish. Are you sure? Yes. Click on OK. Now it will start the server. You can see here the starting on Tomcat server local in the localhost. So it is starting the Tomcat. You will get this HTTP localhost :8080. Project name is generic. I told you should remember that URL mapping. What URL mapping? First. So type the first and enter. The output will display to you. So hello generic servlet. So like this you can execute the servlet program using generic class. Okay. Thank you.